Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, the science of getting stuff done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Amy Harrop. Amy is the founder of Succeed with Content, helping creators build profitable income streams through simple, effective content strategies. She provides tools, training, and guidance to help you publish high-quality content, grow your audience, and earn reliably. Amy draws on years of experience and lives in northern Idaho with her husband and pets. Amy, welcome to Goalbusters.
Why, thank you, Robin. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really glad to be here today to get a chance to chat with you. Thanks so much for having me.
You're extremely welcome, and I know I've spilled the beans. You live in northern Idaho. What's it like there? Whereabouts?
Well, we just had our first snow really. I live between Spokane and Coeur d'Alene in the city of Post Falls, so it's called in the Panhandle. Idaho is a strange shaped state and it's a little panhandle. So we're definitely in the Pacific Northwest, and we do get snow here, and we just had our first sort of snow just in time for the holiday season.
Oh, I'm shivering just thinking about it. It's winter here as well, and I'm actually sat here with a blanket on my legs, and it's not snowing. I don't think I'd cope with that. All right, I'm waffling on. Shall we do the questions instead?
Sounds great.
Okay, I'll get the clock up on the screen, and there it goes. Amy, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
Well, the people I work with tend to be people who are often in terms of, I guess, their avatar, a little bit older. And they usually are looking to make extra money online. They often have had a rich career, but sometimes they're a little overwhelmed by all the new developments that are happening online and the new technologies, which is totally understandable. And they're really looking to find something to make extra money with. Also, a lot of them have perhaps an interest or a desire in specific types of content that they might have a gift and they want to bring it to a wider audience as well. So those are the type of people that tend to be more along the lines of my target audience.
Fantastic. And I think people listening can join the dots about the kinds of problems that you solve. But I always ask the second question, which is exactly what are the problems or problems that you solve to help you give you some space to expand on that.
Well, I like to give people easy to follow step-by-step roadmaps so they can pick some sort of content-based revenue stream and move through it so they don't get overwhelmed. The other thing I've been really focusing on over the years, and it does change because I've been in business quite a while, is helping people access and use technology, because a lot of the technology that is available, a lot of the types of things used to be just available for big companies and big corporations. But as time has gone on, it's now much more available for us as individuals. And I like being able to help and show people how they can use technology to have a better workflow, to actually provide solutions to other people as well with perhaps the content that they're putting together out for their audience, and to be able to get it out there into the world.
Brilliant. Okay, that helps actually. That I always think it's a good idea to expand on that. And so what is one valuable free action that our audience can implement that will help them to move at least some way towards solving the problem or problems for themselves?
Well, I think I was ready to say a couple of things, but you've asked for one. I tend to be a big picture thinker. I've noticed a lot of people sometimes will put equal importance on everything. They'll say, okay, well, I have 20 things to do today and I better do all 20 of them. But the fact is that there's usually a handful of what I and a lot of other people too like to call money making activities. So one of the best things people can do is to isolate their money making activities and make sure that those are at the top of the to-do list, because I think sometimes our human brain psychology, we like to fool ourselves and think, oh, well, if I spend 20 minutes researching, that's going to, be bringing me in revenue. And while it can be, helpful, it's not necessarily, depending on what you're doing, should be classified as a money-making activity. And then next thing you know, you've spent 3 hours and you're on to doing something else and you haven't really moved your business forward.
Fantastic. In fact, and you've gone a long way towards answering the next question. So you probably will have the opportunity to come to your second point, which is that now we have a better understanding, or a little bit better understanding of what you do. I don't really give you much time to go into it in much depth. Let's dive briefly again into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. So say you've already given us a brilliant answer in question 3, but could you share any more tips, because I'm greedy, or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits?
Well, I personally am a fan of smaller things and consistency. We are coming up to the new year soon, and as you know, we have a lot of people who are do New Year resolutions. The gym gets very crowded for those few weeks after January. People have all kinds of resolutions, but a lot of them fail. And I think partially is because people don't have those small steps in place. They think, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do this big goal. They don't put a lot of small steps in place, and then it's difficult to meet it. So I'm a big fan and a big believer in having smallish things, or breaking down tasks into small things that you can do every day, or maybe 75% of your week, as opposed to having something that's very large that you try to tackle maybe once a week or once a month or something like that. Now, I know that all tasks don't break themselves down like that, but I personally think small, consistent steps are much better than just trying to do big things erratically.
Yes, in fact, it's very topical. We're coming up to New Year when we do this, when we're making this recording, and I'm reminded in my book I talk about New Year's resolutions and the gym membership in particular. And it's I was talking to a gym manager many years ago, and the statistic he had, not just for people who gave up going, but who paid for a year's membership or longer on some contracts, never even turned up once, not once. He said it's kind of like, that's our profit. That is literally the profit, where our profit comes from. When you add up all the expenses and then take off and then look at the income, that the people that never turn up at all. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, absolutely. So, what should I have asked you today, Amy, that I didn't? And your answer, please.
Let's see. Well, I just want to talk a little bit more about the exciting times we live in with technology and the ability to put content out there and create and sell content. And I want to say to anybody who has any sort of slight interest in this, it's really a great time, because there's so many niches out there. There's so many niches available. And, I worked a lot. One of the things I've worked a lot with over the years is publishing. And, it used to be in the days, that you couldn't even get published unless you went through an agent. If you sent your book to a publisher, it would just sit in what was called the slush pile and, wouldn't get published. And nowadays, anybody can publish, and they don't have to go through an agent or anything like that. It's super exciting. Now, of course, we do have some things where there's a lot of stuff out there, but I'm a big believer that if you have a message, or if you have a desire, or if you have an interest, there's a path forward for you. It doesn't necessarily always even have to be a book. A lot of people I know have been finding a lot of enjoyment in putting together more problem-based types of content, like things like printables and digital downloads. So it's super exciting to be able to tap in and do that. And I would just say to anybody who has any sort of interest in that whatsoever, that there are people out there who are wanting to see what you have and are looking to connect with you and to see what your expression is, or what your solution is for problems and things like that.
Yes, thank you. And especially in the age of AI, where I have, people are beginning to realize when everybody's asking AI the same questions. And so the content that's going out there, it's the same everywhere.
Yes.
So you have to come up, you still have to come up with something human at the end of it all. You can use the AI to help you, and it is a great help, but you still have to do something original, and that is on you. Okay, so at this point, I always ask one more question, which is a two-parter. Part one is, how can people reach you? Having heard what you do, I'm sure there'll be people that would love to get in touch with you. And part two is there like a valuable free resource they could get from you? Which I always say, being very British, it's a very cheeky question, but actually it's not. A valuable free resource is actually a brilliant way that people can find out more about what you do. And then maybe they'll feel more encouraged and less shy about approaching you because they've got an even bigger picture about what you do.
Well, people can find me at succeedwithcontent.com. That is my site, and it has an overview of what I do. It has my blog, so there's a lot of free tutorials on there and things like that. It also has a link to some of my products and trainings and courses so people can get an overview. In terms of my valuable free resource, I did mention creating digital and selling digital content. I have a great resource on helping people get started with what is often called a low content business or that type of business model. So if that's something that's of interest to you, you would definitely want to grab that because that's going to orient you and get you started.
Fantastic. And the URL for that we will put on for people watching on the video, we will put that on the banner up below the video, and otherwise it's included in all the descriptions and the links for this podcast as well. So people won't have any problem finding that. Amy, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you for coming to do this today, and thank you for your inspiring content that you've delivered all about content.
Well, thank you very much, Robin. It was my pleasure.
It was entirely our pleasure as well. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.